Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're gonna do a lesson. I'm with Tanner, who's the director of instruction at Atlanta National. I know Tanner fairly well. We play in a men's senior league, or I'm in the senior league. He's obviously not a senior golfer. Right. So we know each other pretty well from the last 8 or 9 months. I think I also did a driver efficiency lesson, or how to get more out of your driver spring of last year, or early summer. It's early in the season, been a little rusty. We both didn't play our best yesterday. It's our first loss we've ever had.
Yeah, we were undefeated last year, so that was tough.
And we won, like I think the one before, didn't lose a hole, and we won like 6 or 7 holes. So yeah, I'm here today just to try and figure out some things I can work on and kind of get back in the swing of things for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, for sure. I got to watch it live yesterday. So.
Yeah, so I'm sure he has some.
I know what we can work on.
He has some thoughts on what I need to work on. So
yeah, I got some ideas.
Get to it.
Let's do what you got in your hand? 7. Let's do a pitching wedge. Go to the green flag here. You'll fly it. It's only like.
Yeah, I was just hitting the lob wedge.
You'll fly it over the back of that.
Okay. All right, so at the green flag.
Yep.
Hey guys, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, SwingWise.ai. SwingWise.ai is a mobile caddy app that acts just like a PGA Tour caddy. It gives you shot recommendations from tee to green and shot advice that includes plays like distance with slope, wind, temperature, altitude. It's extremely accurate calculating this, and then also strategic areas to land the ball around the green and in the fairway. So please check out SwingWise.ai. I think they have a pre-sale on subscriptions going on right now. I think it's 50% off. So go check out the website and see if it's something you're interested in. So go check out SwingWise.ai and let's hop back into the video.
Let's see here. So I'm just gonna put a tee down so we know where, like a good. So if you're on this side of the tee, TrackMan should read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So any lesson, I'm always gonna like observe, measure, so we know what the ball's doing, and then try to figure out what we want to change.
Yep.
I'll just watch you hit maybe 10 shots with this club. We can do 7-iron and then driver as well.
Okay.
Kind of see what the patterns are and what we can work on.
Yeah, I even saw a video with, I want to say it was like Tom Kim. Him and his caddy were going out with either their TrackMan or Foresight. They were seeing what the difference the ball was doing in the morning versus the afternoon, because you either go in the morning round or the afternoon round.
The temperature affects ball flight a lot. Yeah, humidity a little bit.
I didn't know they went to that detail. They were actually 2-hour windows, and they were adjusting yardages throughout the day and the days, right?
I bet if they were somewhere where they had a rapid temperature change, it was
somewhere like out west because it was earlier in the year.
So it could be like 40 in the morning, 80 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think it was also like a desert type area, like maybe in Arizona.
That could easily be a 5-yard difference from morning to afternoon.
For the app, we're gonna do a weather API to give you the wind, temperature, and altitude. But I don't know if we're gonna get as precise as that, but it'll be pretty good for the plays like distance. Could have used it on 17 instead of flushing the gap wedge over the group.
I mean, hey, you hit it good.
I think you said it on a hole earlier, as long as I didn't duff it into the water, I was like, at least I hit a solid shot, right?
Yeah.
Can't get too
you hit
upset.
it the way you wanted to.
It's just
that's golf for you, though. You feel like you do everything right and it doesn't work out.
It was really deceptive too. I could have sworn my ball must have run past his, and I didn't see his. But I honestly thought that was my ball in the back of the green.
Yeah.
Or maybe it just sailed over, and I thought it was the ball after it. The other one was long gone.
Hit a couple more. I'm gonna get a down the line video too.
Okay. And I used to be worried about what my swing looks like. I don't care anymore. I mean, it used to be really bad where I could see like a sand wedge over here like John Daly, but.
I think I heard a coach the other day saying, you ask people would you want Jim Furyk's career? And they'll say, well, heck yeah. I mean, the guy won 100 million or whatever, but then you ask him, do you want Jim Furyk's golf swing?
And they say no.
And they're like, no, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get too caught up in what it looks like.
Yeah, the house I live in now, I've always had like a net in the basement, but the ceiling's too low, so I can only hit maybe a 6-iron. And I'd be down there videotaping. I got so jealous of Grayson when he was only like 5. He had this perfect, he's left-handed. It was like a perfect single plane swing.
Yeah.
I got a picture in his room that does the sequence, and he's like 6 years old. I'm like, God, that's perfect. And I was trying to emulate that.
Kids know how to do it. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, and the only thing I ever taught him was how to grip it in stance, and he just was kind of natural at it. don't know if it's weird, but this certain swing feel I have now is more like just bending this right elbow and then going up with it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but
another video here. Yeah, let's hit 7.
Same aim point, or should I aim maybe at that blue one?
We can keep it on the same.
Okay, that's
same
probably
target.
better.
So I mean, yesterday the misses were probably thin to like too much of a hook.
So the hook was a little bit
some of those were live,
abnormal,
like
but the thin thing is definitely like, I know when I was younger, I used to take a divot because I worked at this driving range, and the guy who was also our teacher who owned the driving range would tell us to minimize the damage we were doing, right?
Yeah.
So like I remember like, you know, having these nice divots, but since college, like if I hit it good, it doesn't really make much of a divot with any club.
Yeah, we'll look at the numbers on TrackMan, but I definitely think like the attack angle, low point distance are things to look at.
Yeah, it's definitely not like, so I have a foresight at home.
Yeah.
I'll hit shots that I think are really good and like with a 9-iron, and it's only like 0.87 down, which is probably not the right.
So less than a degree?
Yeah, like, and sometimes it's, I hit it good and it.
Yeah, your pitching
wedge
it's
up.
Was minus 0.8 just then.
Okay.
On average.
Gotcha.
I think the last one was minus 1.5. Well, and when your low point is that close to the ball, then if you do take a divot, it's typically because you hit the ground.
Behind it?
Down too far and we hit it fat.
Yeah. So now I think I had a couple of those yesterday, but more on chips.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was pretty flush.
All right. Let's go ahead and whack some drivers in.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if your low point is too close to the ball, then the contact's just not gonna be consistent, and like depending on the lie, like if you're off a tee, not really gonna matter.
Yeah.
If you got a nice flush lie in the grass like this, not really gonna matter. But if you're off hard pan or like dirt, like those kind of lies, deep in the rough, becomes really hard if we don't have any attack like down into the ball. Yeah. So those are the shots I think we can definitely improve some of those.
God, what was it? I think it was a par 5. I had that 83-yard lob wedge that I totally chunked because it was on that. If I was hitting down on it more, I wouldn't have been so fearful of what it looked like to me in my mind, you know?
Did you feel like the lie was uneven and that threw you off a little bit? Or?
It's kind of more like the dead grass and there's really no grass around it, right?
Yeah,
or
like
dormant.
You gotta pick it perfect. Or
well, it makes me think that. I know I shouldn't, but like it's a mental block, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Got a nice day out here, though.
Yeah, no, you picked the right time for sure. When you said morning, I thought like, oh shit, we got to get there at like 8 in the morning or something. Squeeze us.
Late morning. I'm not a big morning person.
Me either. So
I'm good with a 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock lesson.
You will not see me on the tee sheet probably before 11 or 10 maybe. Yeah. I think the weird thing too yesterday, I don't know why, I don't think I was like extra nervous or anything. I think you even said something. I just didn't feel like I was swinging freely, you know? I was kind of guidey with it.
Yeah, definitely a little guidey driver.
It wasn't so good last summer, but the summer before I hit it really good. It's hitting like a little cut, but I felt like I could just, like in that Hogan book, like wish he had like 5 hands or 3 hands. I could just let it go, and I knew it wasn't gonna go left.
Yeah.
And occasionally it would cut too much, but most of the time it'd be pretty good.
No hooks.
How was that one? Do you get the numbers?
Yeah, I took a video on that one. Let's see. You hit it good?
Felt like it.
141 ball speed. Ugh. I mean, like we said, like the hit's really efficient. Smash factor is 1.5 there. So, I mean, you pretty much caught it right on the button.
I feel like my driver doesn't go as far as like my irons do. Like proportionally, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Maybe that's because I'm thinning those irons, I don't know. That is straight. I think when I was using my foresight a couple of weeks ago, like the difference between like I think my 3 hybrid was getting up to like 136 ball speed.
That one's 146.
Okay. I feel like what I average is right around 145-ish, I guess, because I'll have some occasionally, I've gotten up to like 148, 149, but those are outliers. They're not like
Yeah, I mean, with the regular
consistent.
ball, we might get 148 on that last one. That was a good one.
That felt pretty good.
It's dead straight. All right, so this is pitching wedge. Now, like I said, you're hitting, it's basically a flyer with the grass and the range ball, so I would kind of ignore the carry numbers there, but
147?
yeah, because you got driver spin almost with that one.
Oh, yeah.
But what I'm looking at here, okay, so your tack angle.
That's good to know. I never account for that when I'm playing though, so I don't know why like that.
Yeah, flyer lie, yeah, the ball's gonna
Well, no, flyer lie, but I guess I didn't really think that was much of a flyer, but I guess it was.
Well, there's enough grass there that you're gonna catch, especially if your attack's not real steep, you're gonna get grass in between the ball and the club face, and then
that's how you get a flyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then no friction, the ball's gonna jump off pretty hard. That was actually that was a good one to look at because that was kind of right on your averages, and I think that was a good swing. So we're getting some club paths that are kind of way out to the right.
Okay.
The overall swing direction is out to the right as well. So that hook's kind of always going to be in play there. If you're swinging way out to the right like that.
So when you say, you mean end to out?
So the way I can explain swing direction, I got to use this
bucket.
So, yeah, the bucket or a hula hoop's a good one too. Your club's going to swing in a circle basically.
Right.
So it's going to go back and then down. Low point's going to be the bottom of this circle.
Yep.
Swing direction is the direction you're swinging at the low point.
Okay.
So that's why if you're swinging up, right, so this path starts to go back to the left, you can actually be swinging, your club path could be directly at the target with a swing direction way to the right because you're catching it so far on the upswing.
And that's why it's going to go right still.
Well, you could still hit a fade with a swing direction out to the right because
the face is not square.
Well, because you're swinging back up and swinging to the left.
Okay.
So every degree you're going down on this circle. So if it's going 3 degrees down, it's going 3 degrees more out than the swing direction, and vice versa. So once it starts going up, your club path starts going to the left. So like the overall direction of your swing is pretty far out to the right.
Yep.
And that's why you can't hit down on it, because if you were swinging that far out to the right and then hit down on it, your path would be so far out to the right, you'd have to play a gigantic hook basically. Okay. So I'm interested in getting this swing direction a little more to the left, and then we can start hitting down on the ball a little bit more on those irons without having to worry about the turf and basically hitting a big block. I feel like that would be the...
Oh yeah, no, it's like...
you kind of get a big block every once in a while.
I don't know, for the last couple of years, anything other than driver, I'm trying to draw it a little bit, and then driver, I'm trying to, but like you saw yesterday, like I'm not fading it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Consistently anyway. There's a couple holes.
Your club path, we can look at the club path on the driver.
But real quick, when you said swing direction.
Yeah, that's a hard one to wrap your head around sometimes, but it's the bottom of the swing. Is
it not the same though as like, so on my foresight it tells me path, in to out. Path is different than swing direction.
Swing direction is the total direction of that hoop, right?
Okay.
But it's capturing it at the bottom. So 0, the low point is at 0, or at the low point. That's the swing direction.
It's where you should return it.
Your path is changing constantly around that swing direction. So as you're swinging down, it's out to the right of that swing direction, and then once you start swinging back up, it goes to the left.
Okay.
Your club path might read good or look good.
I don't know if it looks good. So like with a 9-iron,
it's a little bit out to the right.
Yeah, it gets up to like into out up to like 7 or 8 sometimes.
I saw some of those. Sometimes it's at 4. But if your swing direction, if we got it going more to the left,
then it levels it out.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. So the combination of the path and the attack angle, essentially. So the more down we're hitting, the more the path is going to be out to the right. The more up, the club comes back up to the left. That's why, like, if you don't see the swing direction, then really don't know where the club head actually in the swing in general is heading. Let's get back to the pitching wedge here. And so we'll work on some drills just to get this going more to the left. And I brought a pressure board, so we'll use this a little bit. So your low point of your swing is plus or minus about 1 inch from the ball. Low point with the wedge, it was 0.5 inches ahead. So the absolute bottom of that arc with your pitching wedge is about right here.
Okay.
The best players in the world are going to be about 4 or 5 inches ahead.
Gotcha.
So you're plus or minus 1/2 inch there, so sometimes you're bottoming out behind
the
it.
ball.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we're just getting inconsistent contact, maybe some thin ones, fat. So we're gonna work on getting the low point
out
up in here,
out in
and then
front of
that's
the ball.
gonna get you hitting down on those wedges a little bit better.
All right.
So the first drill I like to do with this is a split step. So we'll go left foot, ball just inside the left foot, and pull the right foot back. So it's gonna kind of force you to put like 80–90% of your weight on your left foot. What we also know with the best players, so they're 4 or 5 inches ahead here on their low point, they've also got, you know, 90+% of their weight on their left foot at impact.
Okay.
So if you're anywhere back here, you're gonna hit the ground early or bottom out too soon. So this is a drill, so when you do drills, you don't wanna worry immediately about the contact. Like I feel like that's, a lot of people, I'll give them a drill and you know, they hit one bad one, they're like, I'm not doing that, I can't do that anymore. Like you gotta stick to the process a little bit. We're working on a movement. You know, if we can accomplish what we want to with the movement, then start to take plant in your swing or start to take effect in the swing.
So middle of my stance, off the left
I would
heel.
go just inside the left foot there because it's gonna be a narrow stance. So it's still center of the body right now.
Like center, like sternum or whatever?
Yeah, that's a good ball position for wedge.
Okay.
And then we're gonna drop this foot. I want your toes even with your ankles. So let's go back a little further, like right there.
I gotcha.
Okay, say like a 70–80% swing.
Okay.
And then also like some of these, I like to have like a marker there so we know where the ball was and then we can see.
Oh, I gotcha. So we can see where the divot is?
Yeah, we want to see some divot here.
And then should I be feeling like I'm coming down out there?
So we're gonna start left and I want you to turn, but at impact, I want you to feel like, you know, you gotta have everything.
Fully, all my weight.
Yeah, we're trying to get you to cover the ball a little bit better with your chest.
Okay.
Get your chest more over the ball at impact.
I feel like I faked that somehow. Like tried to manipulate it to have.
Yeah, I think also too, like you're swinging a little bit more like in to out, low to high, and I think you've got to feel some
exit left.
Yeah, exit left, swing down to the left through impact.
Like that kind of.
But like that, on that one immediately, like it's 3 degrees down.
Gotcha.
Low points an inch and a half.
Just kind of felt like I was manipulating because I just felt like when you said covered, I felt like I was just gonna leave my chest out there.
Yeah, we're just getting that left hip, left shoulder, like the centers of your sternum is your upper center, belt buckle's about the lower center. So we're just trying to get these more forward at impact.
Should like that sternum feel like it's out there?
We're trying to get away from
ball?
this one.
Like should it be where you said the low point should be 4 or 5 inches ahead?
I think if you get your weight forward, then that'll happen.
It'll happen, okay.
This also should bring the ball flight down just a hair.
Yeah, no, I'd like to be able to do that. I've been trying to have like a 85-yard shot. That's kind of like a regular lob wedge for me. I'd rather hit like the 54. I've been trying to hit the 54 like 3/4 to flight it a little bit lower. It's just amazing what you learn even after playing for so long. I was like, I would just get up there and hit the lob wedge and not thinking about how the wind affects it or anything. Like so much better if you can bring the ball flight and obviously if you can control it, you know?
That's where you got to start with, you know, like a slower speed. Like if you're trying to learn something new, swinging full speed,
it's kind of,
you're not going to change anything. So that divot right there, you can see, like this is kind of the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem.
So the tee was here, so the ball was here. We got a divot. You can see it's going in to out.
Yep.
So the swing's clearly still in to out, but we're catching ground first there. Just keep feeling like you're swinging left.
Hard to tell if I started back here or not, but it's a little bit further out.
A lot of times people struggling with contact too is that we take the club back and we're going to the right for too long.
Yeah.
So we get stuck back here on this right side and we're having to kind of, you see the early extension, we're coming up and the club's
it has nowhere else to go but fling out to the right.
Yeah, so if you think of this, so you got P1 at address, P2 parallel to the ground here. This is when your weight shift to the right has to end.
Oh, that right start and then start going back the other
So we're
way.
going left, right, but then right there, we've immediately got to start getting back on this front foot.
Okay.
Yep, so if you rehearse that, so you would feel like you're going right until about right here. Now as you swing, as you're loading up to the top, we're shifting into that left leg earlier. Yeah.
I don't feel like I shifted that one. I just kind of like sat on top of it.
So that's where, we'll try the pressure board here too. When I get somebody on this and we're working on shifting, so we're gonna start down on the left side right here.
Uh-huh.
And we're going right, but we're trying to get back down on that left foot as soon as we can. Like the earlier we can get to that left foot, the better.
Okay.
So we go left, right, left, and we're trying to get on that left foot as soon as possible.
Out in front.
I think something cool you'll see on TV every once in a while, you'll see a guy hit on a par 3, right? And he'll hit the ball and then his divot's like starting 2 inches after.
Yeah, no, I've seen that.
Yeah. So start on the left foot there.
Oh, on the left?
Yep.
Okay.
So we got to have that initial push left to right to load into that right leg, and then we're immediately trying to get back down on that left foot. The sequence of it will be awkward at first.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been hanging back on that right leg too much.
So start here, and then when I get to here,
so as soon as
this still needs to go back a little?
As soon as you get that club, so the club, as long as the club's going right, you can go right, but club starts to come back this way, we've got to start coming back that way. Yep.
All right. That was late, right?
Mm-hmm.
Funny thing is, I saw one of these a couple years ago, and then I went to Amazon and bought a skateboard, a wide skateboard, and then put some alignment rods underneath. So I have one of these in my basement that I made.
That's pretty cool.
It doesn't work as well as this one does, but start there.
Yep.
Here.
We're trying to get that initial load. So shift into the right leg and then pushing back.
That's not early enough, is it? Feels so uncoordinated, honestly.
Well, I think that's one thing with your golf swing, like the hand-eye coordination's there and you know where the club face is, but I think your feet are kind of, I don't want to say lazy, but you're not engaged with your lower body in the swing enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't argue any of that.
Part of that comes with the stance. I know we talked about it before, like I think getting a little wider would help.
Yeah, it
help
would.
You feel this shift a little bit more?
Would help, probably. It's just like it becomes sort of a, not that it's right, but it's kind of a crutch. Even that shot where I went over the green. So this chipping stance, Alex saw me chipping last year. He's like, move your feet like this. And then I used to, since I was a kid, do this drill like this when I got out of balance.
Yeah.
And then
feet together drill is a great drill.
Yeah,
great
and the
drill.
pro that taught me was like, you'll be amazed. It's only going to go about 10 yards shorter than your regular shot.
Oh yeah.
So then when I like under a pressure situation like that, it's kind of like, if I put my feet together, I'm pretty sure I'm going to make good contact. But as we soon figured out, it was the wrong club.
Let's try a couple hitting it off the board.
Okay.
Okay, so start on the left foot. So I think that's important. Start, like we can take that off the board, is to start left, push right.
Start left, push right.
Yep, there you go.
Looks like it's already made my stance wider.
Yep. There we go.
God, that feels so awkward, but like
TrackMan caught that one. Your attacking was 3.5 down there versus 1.
So what do I want it to be?
There's no right answer to that question. Every player's gonna be different, but I can tell you that 0.5 degrees and a ½ inch in front of the ball with low point's probably not good. Okay. So we want it to go. So that one you were 3 inches ahead with your low point.
Okay.
So then, I mean, you can hear the
sound. When you say 3 though, that means 3 inches ahead, not 3 degrees
the
or something.
bottom of your swing, so the point when this club started to come back up was up here. So the low point was all the way up there on that swing. That's good progress there.
Okay.
Going from less than a degree to 3.5 down.
I don't know if I got quite back, but
you're starting to take some
closer.
divots, though.
Yeah, no, there's some grass moving. So
grass is moving.
From a ball position, should I be playing it further back?
We got a wedge, so keep it right in the middle. Keep it right in the middle, but the thing is, we're gonna move left during our swing, so the ball at impact, hopefully, we're further forward instead of
back hanging
on that
to
back foot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, hanging on that back foot.
That wasn't a good one.
All right, here, let's try some. Throw the board to the side. So I want you to make some aggressive kind of practice swings here. Make sure you feel like you're starting, pushing off that left foot, loading into the right side and then getting through to your left side here. So hopefully we'll start to feel a little more athletic too. I think got to get some movement there.
Yeah, I think movement would be good.
Some pressure shift. Feel like you have a little more speed?
I feel like it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Definitely feels a lot more athletic.
The last one you were 4 down.
A lot more athletic and like a free swing, unlike yesterday when we were playing, and I was kind of scared on every tee shot.
You're gonna compress the ball more from up there too, because we're getting some shaft lean now.
Okay.
Yeah, that was 4 degrees down on the last one off the pressure plate. So left, right, left.
Was that one any good? Because it feels less flippy at the impact. Kind of like I'm dragging it through.
Well, you're just reacting at that point, right? You're just getting through it. Minus 2.6, so 2.5 inches ahead of the ball. So I mean, that's going the right direction.
Okay, cool. And that number, I know you said it kind of depends, but that round 3 number, is that for every club, or obviously not like the driver or something?
Yeah, driver would be the. It's on a tee, so
on irons in general, or does it get progressively less as you go down the bag?
Yeah, wedges would be more
the 3,
more
4.
attack, low point further forward, and then by the time you get to 4 and 5 iron, it's a shallower attack.
Okay.
So definitely, it's like anything, it progresses, ball position changes, hopefully your stance and setup changes a little bit too as we move through the bag.
It's kind of weird. I kind of feel now that even though the board's not there,
yeah, you can
that
feel
it
your
is
feet.
there.
Yeah. We'll walk through. Hey, that means you're moving that way, so that's good.
No, I was just laughing because years ago when me and my buddies were all single, we played a lot more golf. For a while, I did the Gary, they made fun of me because I was, he's doing the Gary Player walkthrough. I was like, I beat the shit out of you guys, though, so what are you talking about?
That's good, so yeah.
So is this
stance is wider now. I like that.
It feels like just getting on that board is kind of retraining my brain a little bit.
If your feet are here, I mean, it's gonna be hard to feel any, you can't shift any from there.
And I hope I'm not overthinking stuff, but can you watch this leg? Because when I film myself at home sometimes, I feel like it goes way too down.
What I see with your legs is the right leg just straightens out way too soon.
Oh,
so I want you to try to feel like you have some flex in your legs when you start.
Okay.
And then we've got to turn into this hip, but maintain a little bit. Because once this leg straightens out, none of your muscles are engaged anymore. And we're just gonna be lazy, stuck on that back leg.
All right.
Yeah.
So probably more like I was taught to be like in the shortstop position.
Yeah.
I think I've watched too many things where these guys were doing more straight up.
Yeah, I mean, you bend the knees a little bit, you get your balance point kind of right here near the end of the laces. We're gonna work on a little more side-to-side movement there.
That one felt all right.
Yeah, feel like you're swinging left, down and left.
Oh, left. I forgot about the left. I wasn't very good on the left part.
4 degrees down though.
That's good.
Yeah, so now we've got to get your swing direction more to the left, because now you're hitting down on it, that ball's gonna start way to the right. The path is gonna be too far right.
Gotcha.
Close?
It's close. Felt like. Not great contact, but not worried about that right now. It's weird, I kind of feel like I'm lunging at it. Does it look like that?
You feel like you're just trying to get moving to the left.
It just kind of feels like I'm just trying to like move my chest over here, which might be the right thing because it just feels different. I don't know if I'm like making the right move to get there.
Yeah, so try to go to the top, try to maintain just a little bit of flex in that leg. Now, do you feel like more?
Feel like all this kind of like engaged right there.
That's what we want to feel.
Did have this one swing key to feel like this is kind of pinched in.
Swinging into that.
Yeah,
hip.
And you kind of like, it sits in there and you can kind of feel a little tension.
Good. Good one there. Yeah, there we go. 4 down, 3.5, low point is 3.5 inches ahead of the ball. Swing direction's 1.5 to the right. So now you're getting some good numbers.
I don't think I took a lot of grass, but I felt like it was a good one.
I would say that last swing was more like your old move. Yeah.
Is it like left, like that?
Through the ball?
I almost feel like I'm coming across.
So I want you going left to right, and then you're trying to get your tailbone back here. to get over your left ankle a little bit earlier. So that's where I think you need to feel the shift. All right.
Okay.
You gotta use your feet to push it there. There you go.
I would never have my feet this wide with my wedge, but now it feels sort of normal.
Well, you'll see it on camera. It's not gonna look
I'm sure it's probably not as
wide.
Not wide at all. Still not taking like much of a divot though. How does the divot get created?
That is gonna be more the depth, like how far down does your swing go? Because you've been picking the golf ball for so long.
Oh yeah.
You never let your club go, and you're a good golfer, like you never let your club go into the ground.
Yeah.
So that's like, cause that would be like a death move for you, right? Where,
oh yeah.
With where the low point was. That's certainly gonna take some time, but you'll get more comfortable with it the more you get up. Yeah, the more you're bottoming out up here, the more comfortable you are gonna be to go ahead and go down after that ball.
I think that's about how wide I have my feet on my driver, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
No.
Yeah, we'll hit a few drivers here in a second.
God, I thought it was gonna be better than that.
There you go. That was it.
That's just perfectly straight too.
Yeah, gave the grass a little haircut on that one too.
I mean, I don't care if I take a divot as long as
it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter to me. I just want to.
Steve Stricker hardly ever took a divot. He did pretty good.
Yeah.
There's certain instances where you got to go down a little bit more, and if, like, especially in the rough, I think that's where it really comes into play. If you got a bad lie in the rough, if you're not hitting down enough on it, the ball's just not going to come out of there.
Yeah.
At any speed.
Yeah, that's why I try to hit as many fairways as possible.
I would hit as another, like we've got that tee box on the other side. I would hit on the downslope over there. That's a good practice for getting
the low point forward.
Because on a downslope, if your low point's back, you're gonna hit ground.
Yeah,
so that might be a hard lie for you. I don't know.
Well, I hit that one yesterday on the par 5.
You did hit a good one on that one.
But that I was like, this could go anywhere before I swung. I was like,
yeah, that was.
I was not looking forward to hitting that shot at all.
He hit a perfect drive, and it's dormant here in Georgia. We're still coming into spring, so his ball rolled about 70 yards further than we thought, and he ended up in a penalty area on a downslope. I mean, that was a great shot. You just
the shot was great. The fact that I didn't 2-putt,
3-putt hurt a little bit, but yeah, you ended up like 60 feet. We're gonna 3-putt.
Yeah, it wasn't like unreasonable 3-putt.
Tough putt. It broke 15 feet.
Yeah,
all that stuff. But yeah, it was a great recovery shot out of there. Kept us in the hole because we were in trouble. I know I was in my pocket.
I was actually kind of lucky. That hole that you hit it out of bounds and we thought mine was out of bounds was on the cart path.
Yeah, you ended up okay.
I was like,
we thought you were out of bounds. We thought I was in bounds.
That was like a classic match play situation. Like you think I'm done, everybody else hits, they think they're okay. Then everybody else is screwed, and then I'm okay, and then I hit a miracle shot. But what I liked about that one is I just tried to take it half. I mean, that club goes around 200 or 205, maybe 210. What I did is I just said, I'm gonna go here to here low and try and cut it, even though I had a hook lie. And I just hit it flush as crap, and it cut a little bit.
Yeah, it was a beat.
After I noticed that, I hit that club a couple more times, like on the other one where I got up and down where it almost went in. I was like 225. I hit that same club, and so I'm going to hit that low shot with a hook this time. And if it chases up there, it should never get there, right? But it was so hard out there, I almost got there. But then it screwed me on 18 because I hit that club into the water.
Just keeping that feeling of like being on the pressure board.
Yeah, no, just doing that for like, what do we do that like for a minute or two? Yeah. Like it feels like I'm on one, right?
You can feel yourself.
Feel like I have to do this.
I don't have to have this big sway with my upper body to get over here, right? Like I can move pressure.
Oh, okay.
Without moving mass as much.
All right, so it's more than about just the feet, not like my torso moving with
Right, yeah. We're not just moving that over there to get the board to go down.
Okay. Okay. I think that might help.
Yeah. All right, let's hit some drivers. So I got a drill for you on the driver.
Okay.
We got 7 degrees up. Swing direction. This is where you can kind of understand swing direction a little better. So swing direction was 5 degrees out. But because you were swinging up so much, the club path was zeroed out on that shot.
Okay.
Yeah. So your direction at the bottom was way out to the right, but the club, when it comes up, it starts swinging back to the left.
Okay.
Because the spin is so low with how high, like how much up you're swinging, that it's not as reliable as it could be.
Okay.
So the drill is to tee the driver really low. So give it about 1 knuckle, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, all the way like, down to like 1 knuckle on my finger?
Yeah. So this is gonna force you, so this
could go anywhere.
Yeah, so we'll go from here. So we're trying to get the swing direction a little bit more square and get you swinging. Like, I want you to swing up on it, but not as much as we're doing right now.
Okay.
Just to get a little more spin. Because if you miss-hit it with that low a spin,
it's no chance to recover. It's just going to go where it started.
Right, it's just going to dive out of the air. So we're going to feel that same shift, especially off the ball with driver. We've really got to shift right quickly. Good.
I'm surprised I didn't stick it into the ground.
So we can you can get in some bad habits, teeing it up super high, right? And then you just kind of hang back on it, and send it out to the right, and then every once in a while you time it up perfect. It's that big high draw, but the misses that can be all over the place. So look where you hit that. Even with the tee that high off the ground, you still hit the center of the driver there.
It feels like you can't hit the center because it's below it.
Right.
Unless I took a big divot.
Look at all the numbers. Everything's almost zeroed out there. So you got club path, swing direction, tack angle, everything's a lot more level. So this would be a great drill for you for driver.
Will I do this like in a practice session, or do it like before you go play sometime?
Practice session. So we're okay with you hitting it a little low on the face here. We're only going to move the tee height to get the centerness of contact back up. So if you hit it low on the face doing this, that's fine. But we just want to get that big like hang back and that upswing out of there a little bit. So we're getting hooks there, right?
Yep. That one kind of straight cut a little bit, but not much. The rest have been kind of hooky.
You can tee it up a little bit higher. Let's give it a little. I don't want you to feel like you gotta scoop it off the ground too much. Good. Beauty. All right, so tee it up just a little bit higher. Same swing feels. That was really good there.
Yeah,
so now your spin rate's at about 2,500 instead of 1,500.
Yeah, I think we're
in like the danger zone when you're mid 1000s with spin.
Yeah.
Any miss hit, the ball's gonna drop straight out of the air.
Yeah, so like,
and curve a lot.
I think what I was doing, I was like, you said to push off of here. I think I was putting too much weight over there too, instead of just push that one. I felt like I just pushed off instead of like feeling like I was like a stack and tilt thing. I felt like I was kind of over here. Nope. Felt all right though. Like I was doing what I did on the one before. It's crazy. I could do that like on the course to hit it low. And
absolutely. Yeah, that's a straight bullet right there.
I don't know why. With my 3-wood, I occasionally hit this beautiful low bullet, but I have no idea how I did it. It's like a happy accident of some sort.
I think if we're swinging up too much, the good shots are kind of a happy accident. Good.
What I kind of like about this drill though is I'm not, the last 2 or 3 years, I'm real worried like which way my wrists are moving. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just trying to do the footwork.
Got to be an athlete again.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't swing low and left or out to the left on that one.
Yeah.
Got kind of too.
That was a little quick, right?
Amped up,
yeah. You didn't really finish your backswing on that one. That was kind of, you got back and then
bad transition.
Yeah. There you go.
That felt pretty good. When it's just pulling left like that, is that just like a face issue? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It gave us, club face was 1 degree closed there.
Gotcha. I mean, you could probably get away with that though.
Yeah.
I get depending on the hole, but.
There you go.
What I also like about it is I just feel like I'm swinging. I'm not trying to guide it to a specific spot or anything. Will it, like when it's low like this, I've seen a lot of people say like they do this for like lower tee height for fairway finder.
Yeah.
Squeezer usually goes left to right for a right-hander.
Right. The lower the ball is teed, the easier it is to hit a fade.
Okay.
It's all, like up in the air.
Oh God.
You can go into out more and go up, so it's easier.
I've not thought about that. I've been using those big ass tees trying to hit a cut.
That's tough. That's tough. All right, one thing I want to see
Knowledge
here.
is power, huh?
Go ahead and get set up here.
Okay.
I would love to see just a little bit of flex in the knees, just to feel it. Yeah.
Did it stay flexed?
Yeah,
okay.
That's good.
There was a swing key that I had and it was trying to keep that knee flex, but that was 20 something years ago. Then you see all these people talking about straightening it online. Well, I mean, you know,
yeah, I mean,
who knows who's right?
I don't know what you're gonna do with your leg locked out.
Yeah.
I don't think
you can't really
move.
push off of it, can you?
Okay. So let's go up again. Get that tee height right about here.
Okay.
I want you to make that same level swing because we're hitting those off the bottom of the face. I mean, you can feel them.
Yeah.
Same swing, and we'll get the contact point
It
up
should be closer to the
on the sweet spot with the same swing, and I think we'll see really good results. Just flex down with the legs just a bit.
Now, is that like, that's like the regular kind of tee height,
That's
right?
about a 2/3 or a third of the ball above the top of the driver.
Okay. And like the old school thing I learned
Half
like
the
40
ball.
years ago is half, right?
Yeah, half's great.
Okay.
I'm still keeping it a little low here.
Okay. It feels high now.
Just because I don't want to get you into that habit of leaning back, swinging way out to the right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Good. Pretty draw right there.
Yeah.
Getting a little hot now.
Yeah. Didn't know we were gonna match
Georgia.
pink and pink. Or is that purple?
This used to be kind of red. But I've had this hoodie for a while.
Now, something I also do is like I usually try to put the ball off the toe a little.
I like that. If you're swinging in to out, I think that's a good.
I just didn't know if that was
I mean, it reminds me of like Zach Johnson hitting he always had it way out on the toe, hitting those draws.
It's like, I don't know if you ever watched Wesley Bryan. He scares the shit out of me because he does this. The other side.
Wesley's a great player, but I don't know if we want to watch what he's doing with driver.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I agree. But I mean,
maybe watch George a little bit more.
Yeah, but he's like lines it up off the heel.
Yeah,
and
I think
then
he's going through like some mental hurdles there before he's hitting that ball. He's jumping through a lot of hoops.
You would think.
But
very confident guy though, so he doesn't really.
Yeah, his short game's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And anything inside 120.
More flex or?
Yeah, just a little bit. I think you just get almost locked out at the start, and we just never get that shift going. There you go. That was maybe a little on the heel.
Yeah, but
a little bit of a cut.
Very playable.
Yeah.
So am I still like an in-to-out path, or am I like wiping it a little bit?
I think that's still in-to-out. Are you wanting to hit a fade or a draw? That's the thing. So
I think I would prefer to hit a fade with the driver.
Okay, let's try to hit a draw just on one.
Okay.
Let's see, try to hit the draw. Pick one shot with your driver.
Yeah.
And stick with that shot.
I think I could go back to the draw. I just like.
Well, the swing direction and everything tells me
draw should be the right
draw is
one.
probably going to be more dependable. You're going to have to manipulate with the hands a lot.
I must have just like 2 summers ago was when I got my handicap down to like around the 2 to 3.
Yeah.
And I was just hitting on command these nice little cuts.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I was swinging differently then.
I've seen you hit lots of draws with driver when I played with you. Like.
Yeah, no, and that's why the guy taught us out of the Hogan book. We were hooking sand wedges from 100 yards. So that's probably the more natural thing for me. But like I guess I'm not feeling like I'm trying to fade or draw it right now. So like up to this point.
All right, well, let's just work on one shot here.
Okay.
So. It will be easier for you to control the fade though with this like leveling out the tack angle a little bit, not being so far up on it. Really hard to hit a fade if you're 6-7 degrees up. There you go.
Is that like the height you want, or is that low?
I think
still?
for your on the course, you bring it up.
Okay.
Right. That's probably low still for you.
Getting kind of normal now.
Yeah, it starts to feel normal quickly.
If you asked me before we started doing that to put it one knuckle,
you wouldn't even think you could
I would
hit
be
it.
like, you're out of your mind, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you can hit, I guess, a driver off the deck, right? You just block it out and practice it a little bit. Oh man, I thought it was gonna be good. My lower body look all right, or did I?
Yeah, no, the swing looks good.
Okay.
So I still, even though that tee's getting higher, I still want you to feel like it's the same
Yeah,
swing.
I think you
went on that one, we went back to.
Yeah, no, I forgot to do the stay ahead of it or cover it.
Yeah, let's go up here. Let's just hit a nice high straight one here, but same swing. Yeah. Good one.
Felt pretty good.
Yeah. No, the swing looks more leveled out. So if you wanted to hit fades, like let's hit 3 balls. Let's try to hit a fade.
Okay.
3 times. So you can tee it a little lower. I think much easier to hit the fade from there. Get your start line, so it's gonna be between green and blue there, right?
Actually, it's at the red, or I can move it if you want.
Okay, well, yeah, wherever it is. So if
It's
you're
kind of naturally set up, I think, right at the red or just inside it.
where do you want this ball to end up? I guess that's my question.
That's a good question, because like I've always been under the theory whether I was hitting a cut or a draw, at least the way I was taught was you put the face where you want it to go, and then but I'm not saying that's right, that's just how I do it.
The ball's gonna start where the face is pointing,
Uh-huh.
and it's gonna curve away from your path.
So I really should, if I'm hitting a draw, aim out.
If you're
to the
hitting a
right.
fade to that red flag,
Yeah.
you need to aim your, I would like
the
to see
green.
you aim your club face at the green, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I would say that's a big misconception, is that like you need the face wide open to hit a fade. You just need your path to be left of where the face is. I'm just gonna fade. There you go. That's ripped.
That was good. Maybe cutting more than I wanted, but
Yeah.
definitely.
So if you're trying to end it up at red, and you had your face right of that, then it's
like
gonna be a block.
almost like a
it's
double
block
cross,
fade.
yeah, the
It's
right.
a block fade. That's a good one there. I mean, just aim it a little left with the face, swing left. It feels like for you swinging down with the driver, but you're definitely not. You're definitely
on that
not.
one, I
So,
felt like I'm like leaning over the ball. Definitely a weird feeling for me.
one more here. That one was really good. Yeah,
That was
perfect.
even
That's
better.
2 in a row.
The start line was a little bit off, but I guess it ended up about
Fairway.
the same. Yeah, no, definitely fairway.
But yeah, I think that fade will be a lot more reliable.
Yeah, no, I like the fade.
More level at the bottom, not as much.
So was I like early extending and goat humping or whatever they call it?
Well, you were attacking really from the inside, so you had to
Kind of flip to
you
get
had to
back.
extend and lean back to get that club to hit. It looks like you're trying to hit a draw when you were hitting a fade to me, but now it looks like
Oh, okay, gotcha.
you were in your head, you were trying to hit a fade, but it was a draw swing. But that swing right there was a fade swing. That looked way easier to hit that little fade.
Yeah,
right
no, that felt comfortable too. Like it didn't. All right, man.
Enjoyed it.
Thanks, appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's good playing with you again. Hopefully we'll win our next match.
We're gonna go undefeated the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, comment. Thanks to Tanner for coming out and doing the lesson. I think I learned a lot.
Got something to work on. It's
Yeah,
early spring, you know.
The odd thing is I thought I wasn't really extending anymore, so I'm glad that I figured out something that I can work on that'll be helpful.
For sure.
So, and then hopefully I won't be
Hit
dragging.
more fairways, hit more greens.
And I won't drag you down in the mud the next match.
No chance.
All right.
All right, I'll see you.
Thanks, Tanner.